Welcome to Dynamite. Delight. Welcome. Let's see what we got here. We got a show that really wanted to let you know that something was going on. Really. When I mean really, I mean really. They wanted to let you understand there was a lot that was going on. There was a hot mess on the show, which was good. I'm not going to tell you this was the greatest show you've ever seen, but you're going to say a lot of interesting things happened on Dynamite, and it was good things. Opening of the show was Moxley. Now, we always know that Moxley is 100% one of the mainstay of AEW, but also one of its detriments because they've overexposed the guy. Look, I like Moxley like anybody else, but due to the fact what happened with CM Punk, due to the fact what happened with COVID-19, you put Moxley on TV almost all the damn time. And we really need him to take a back seat. Or you got to do something really interesting with him. So he goes into the ring. He doesn't say William Regal's name. He does not. He doesn't say anything about MJF. Does not. But he makes it very clear that he is the guy. It doesn't matter who's holding the damn title. He is the mainstay. He is the one you watch. He's the one that matters. And there's not one person in the back that comes close to his ring work, close to his work ethic, and close to bleeding as much as him. If they think they can do it, come on out. And I expected Bryan Danielson to get upset about that because of what happened with William Regal. But no. It was Hangman Page that came out. Now, remember, Hangman Page had a concussion. He was done. He got a nasty concussion. Not something life-threatening, nothing really as serious as Adam Cole, who is still out due to what he went through, unless there was something added on top of it. But he did get a concussion. He comes out, and Moxley says simply, you really want to do this? Do you really want to go there with this again? I would have thought you learned your lesson, or do you even remember? And the moment he said that, the fight started. At one point, since they were fighting one another, and you got security, you got the officials, you got all the hands in the back trying to keep these two apart, you got Moxley wanting to try and run the ramp, or at least jump off the ramp, and then jump back onto the ramp to get at Moxley. But unfortunately, he fell trying to jump onto the ramp and rolled onto the grating that they use for the pyro. Rolls off, but gets back up, and they continue fighting until they finally separate the two. At least they thought they did, until they started fighting again in the back. And then eventually they finally separate one another. Now, does this make sense? Yes, it does, because Hangman Page got concussed by a Jon Moxley. It wasn't like he was doing it on purpose, but he got concussed. That was it. So it makes sense storyline-wise, since they were fighting one another, and it's good to see Hangman's fine. He isn't badly messed up. He doesn't have any major injuries. At least that we know, he's fine. So I'm glad about that. But I'm going to be honest here. As much I'm going to be enjoying this, because they do have an automatic story because of concussion. You guys tell me below, don't you think that, yes, Hangman Page coming after Moxley is a great story, but don't you think they should at least give Moxley a break? He has been going non-stop since the scrum. He was going non-stop before the scrum once CM Punk got hurt. He's been going non-stop. The only time he took a break when he went to rehab to give himself sobriety. That's it. Now, that's a great thing. I'm glad. I'm glad to know that he has sobriety. And hopefully with Renee there, working with him and being by his side, that's going to be even more good for him. No drinking for him. He's going to be fine. But it's time for him to take a break. A few weeks or a month or something after Final Battle. I believe that might be the best time that we last see him on Dynamite, or we see him on Rampage. when Final Battle happens, take a break about a month. We don't see him for a month. Just keep him off TV because he's overexposed. I'm just saying. Now, let's see what we got here. First match, Bryan Danielson versus Dax Hardwood of FTR. Now, I knew this was going to be a good match. And many people believed it a dream match. And was it a dream match? They didn't get a chance to do it when they were in WWE. When they were the Revival and he was Daniel Bryan. They did not go at each other. So this was something many people wondered. Could Dax Hardwood or Cash Wheeler go up against a Bryan Danielson or somebody who has the caliber of wrestling that he did? And it was a good match. It was. In the end, I didn't expect Dax to win. He did not win. But did he look damn good as a singles competitor? Yes, he did. Since Cash was away after he cut himself, we got a chance to see Dax a little bit differently. And on and off, we have seen him work by himself, which there's nothing wrong with it. Look, we still get FTR. We still get them, but we see how good Dax is. Between Dax and Cash, they're both excellent wrestlers. When they had to face each other in the tournament, the Owen Hart tournament, seeing them both were great wrestlers. But who is the better? It's Dax. Dax is a bit better than Cash. Not saying anything away from Cash, but Dax between the two is a better wrestler. So we're getting a little bit more of that. And I don't mind it. That's just me. Now, the TNT champion. And I'm not gonna lie about this. I had forgotten because I've been busy doing my animation. I forgot that Samoa Joe won both TV and TNT titles. I forgot because I was so busy. And he went up against AR Fox, who now legitimately is a member of the AEW roster. Do I believe that was the wisest thing to do? No. Honestly, I didn't think so. Yes, he's gone in Elevation and Dark. He has proven to Tony that he's got skill and he's probably dedicated. But do I believe that they needed to have another person on the AEW roster when we don't see a lot of the roster as it is? Look, I'm not against AR Fox. Not at all. I said it. He's a good wrestler. I can see it. He also has a certain type of personality. But let's be honest here. How many other people in the back have we seen lately? Have we seen a lot of the people that are in the back that we should be seeing? Hell, where's Kip Sabian? I haven't seen him unless he got hurt again. Where are the other people that we should be seeing? There's supposed to be a stacked roster back there. Where are they? Dark and Elevation. Shouldn't be showing more people from Dark and Elevation that is signed. I'm not against him, but I didn't think he was even going to do anything against Mojo. Yeah, he did a good showing, and he did get dropped in his head a little bit. But I knew he wasn't going to beat Joe. He was basically enhancement talent. Fine. But he didn't need to become a member of the AEW roster. They got a huge roster as it is, and they're not using all those people on Dynamite and on Rampage. They need to use them more. Now, did we see Wardlow? Yes, we did. Wardlow made it very clear. I hope you enjoy that title because that title's mine and I'm coming for you. And always remember, this is Wardlow's world. Fine. We got this. But then it makes you think. What was going on with Wardlow that they had to basically strip him of the title? Nothing. That's the problem. I like Wardlow. Wardlow was built so well with MJF. But then he became stagnant. He even tried to prop himself up on Twitter saying, I am not stagnant. But, dude, you were stagnant. Why do you think they threw it on Samoa Joe? He was. So now you got an experienced veteran like Samoa Joe dealing with a Wardlow who can actually benefit from having a feud with him. But to be honest, I'd rather see Wardlow take pretty much the ROH TV title instead of the TNT title. Make him do something on ROH. Well, actually, Dark and Elevation. I'm just saying. Now, Um, we had a match between, what can I say about what happened with Aaron Davari? And that was a very, Aaron, I hope he enjoys the life he's been having working in AEW because he's basically enhancement talent. Yeah, he's working with the, what was it, what was, not the Truth Busters, I forgot what they were. It's been a while since I've actually seen Aaron work with the Busters. I forgot what they're called. But seeing him destroyed by Ricky Starks, I'm not surprised. He was annihilated by Ricky because of what happened with Ethan Page. Also, Matt Hardy showed up trying to do the delete, but unfortunately couldn't get very far because pretty much halfway made it very clear, we own you. And Ethan says, we own your ass and you're going to help me when it comes to that match next week so I can get that Dynamite Diamond shot and then eventually take out a MJF because I know MJ is not going to win. And he made it very clear to the fans, don't cheer for that bastard. I don't care about him. I just know that Ricky ain't going to win. I'm going to win. And then he's going to get beat. And then I'm going to go after MJF. I'm going to take it from him. That's how it was. And then Ricky destroys Aaron. Sad, but that's the way it is. Now, let's do a little bit of backstage. Did we get something interesting from the JAS and the quote-unquote Blackpool Combat Club, at least what's left of it? We now know Claudio is an entertainer. In other words, Daddy Magic made it very clear. Don't worry, Claudio, when you become a sports entertainer, you can be anything you want. You can be a yodeler. And you can also use that whatever they go, that little pipe or something that makes really great music. You can be anything you want. And, of course, Claudio didn't take that very well. He got mad. But then we see Wheeler Yuta. He makes it very clear after Claudio walks out, I am done. I don't care about you. I don't care about the Blackpool Combat Club. But I care about that title, that pure title around Joe Waste. I want a rematch at Final Battle. And pretty much, Daniel Garcia didn't have no problem with it. But it's like, I don't know what it is. Why is the Blackpool Combat Club still in existence? They need to disband it because William Regal is no longer there. But I know many people would say, no, keep it. Because it still works. I'm going like, nah. Honestly, by the beginning of next year, it needs to just go away. Not because it didn't do its job, but because William was the Blackpool Combat Club. It wasn't Moxley, it wasn't Bryan, it wasn't Claudio, it was not Wheeler Yuta. It was Regal. And I will be getting to William Regal in a few minutes because you know what the title is. You're going to hear what I'm thinking. Now, the match that only went 8 minutes. And what did we really get out of it? That's a big question. Anna Jade versus Willow Nightingale. I didn't hate the match, but I didn't care about it either. Because what are we doing with Willow? Nothing. What are we doing with Anna Jade other than her working with the Jericho Appreciation Society? Nothing. Yeah, Ty Mello was with her. And it was an interesting match, but Willow didn't really matter. Even though she won and got her butt kicked a little bit before a Ruby Soho showed up, which I'm actually quite glad about. She done a reconstructed surgery because she got her nose smashed up because of Ty. And she's back. She actually looks pretty good. Kind of like what happened with Britt Baker, who did talk later that night. I'm not going to talk about it. But seeing a Ruby Soho is a good thing, but here's the question. What are they going to do with her? She's back. Great. Are you going to do something with Willow? I don't think so. Are you going to do something with Anna Jay? I don't think so. Are you going to do something with Ty Mello? I don't think so. Are you going to team all 4 women up together to do a tag match? Yup. That's what this is going to come down to. Yeah, I'm sure Anna Jay is going to have a singles match with Ruby, and Ty will have a singles match with Ruby. But eventually, this is going to be leading into a tag match. with no real stakes, no real stipulation, nothing important. And that's the problem. These women just do matches. And if there's any type of story, it's done in dark and elevation. So why do we care? You guys tell me below. What will make this important? What? Because it was not the match quality. They were both fine. But the problem is, what do we get to go with the match? Yes, so returning Ruby Soho. And like with Hangman Page, we got a good thing with Hangman. But what do we really get for the women? We got some with the men because we got an automatic story in there. And yes, Ruby breaking her face because of, sorry, no stitching, because of what happened with, I believe it was Ty that broke her face, or it was Anna Jay that broke her face. But they need more than what's going on with Moxley and Hangman Page. That is a more high profile match and feud than this. It ain't enough. I'm just saying. Now, let's get to Jade Cargill dealing with Little Bow Wow. Do I care about Little Bow Wow? I'm really not into rap. I'm not. Or hip hop. I'm just not. Doesn't mean that he's not important. I'm just not into it. So I don't watch it much. I don't listen to it much. It's very rare I hear anything that's rap or hip hop that I actually like. As I've always said on this channel, I'm the type of person that likes trance music. Yeah, I like disco music. And I like house music most of the time. But doesn't mean I can't listen to any other music. It's got to be something really good that grabs me. Knowing that he's doing this, and that he's going to probably be promoting someone, maybe Akira Hogan. The entire segment was about getting rid of Kira Hogan. And then she gets mad at both of the other remaining baddies because she was hanging out with them. And she said, you hanging out with that heifer? You got to make a choice. Either you and the baddies or you out. I don't need you sucking off of me. That didn't sound right. I don't need any of you basically hanging on my coattails. I don't need you draining the life out of me because you ain't getting anywhere. And what did I say? What did she just do? She just said exactly what I said. That what were the baddies? Were the baddies going to be a group of women that all of them were going to get over? Or was this just 2 or 3 women in the background to make Jade Cargill look like she's dominant? And they gain nothing. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me. What do I have here? Do I have a joke? Or am I actually really telling you that it was all about Jade? Red Velvet wasn't the key here to get over. Even though she was already mostly over on her own, even though she's still not great in the business. She's still getting there. Then Gray, she's there, but she hasn't done much at all on Dynamite or on Rampage. Maybe Elevation and Dark, but nothing on Dynamite. Nothing on Rampage. Nothing. And then you have Kira Hogan, who is in the business longer than all these women. As far as I know, she's been in the business more than 10 years. She's the most veteran person there. The most over person there when it comes to pretty much an experience. And she's gone. Now, maybe Little Bow Wow is going to use Kira Hogan in this situation to try and win something. Or it's going to be someone else. I don't know. It could be someone entirely different. I'm not saying it's going to be Sasha. I'm not saying it's going to be Naomi, even though that would be shockingly, let's be honest here, being honest. If Naomi shows up on AEW Dynamite, it will change how people are going to think about WWE. Because you got one of the 2 women who was wronged, no matter how you feel about those tag titles. They got sick of what was going on, and they have not come back yet. They were supposed to show up in Survivor Series. Many people speculated. I don't remember if I speculated or not. I don't think I said it, but maybe I did. But I knew sooner or later they may come back. But I'm just saying that what would happen if Naomi showed up on Dynamite? Not saying she will. Not saying that Trinity for 2 would show up there. Not saying that. But what happened if she did? That would blow everyone's mind. Or Mercedes. Not saying she's showing up there. No one's talked about their contract being expired. No one's talked about their contract really being broken. They're just saying nothing. So probably they are either renegotiating or they already have renegotiated it because their contract was supposed to expire, in June or July of this year? Both of them. I think either July or August for Naomi and maybe Sasha just before that or just around that time. Both of their contracts were very near up. Now, I'm not saying that they are going to AEW. They're not. They're probably not. But whoever Bow Wow's bringing in is hopefully going to be someone important unless it's going to be Hogan. I'm just saying. Now, the best of 7. The attack before the match was fine. In the end, it was a black arrow that failed, and I believe it was on Matt. Or was it Nick? I think it was Matt or Nick that basically put the knees up and splattered him in the face, even though he is wearing a face mask. I don't care who you are. That's not going to feel good. But the point is, they won their 2-on-1. Now, that's how it is. 2 wins for Death Triangle, 1 win for the Elite. And they had their moment afterwards saying, we were not going to let this be a sweep. We were going to win. Now play our music. They really must love that music. But the point here is that this is still going on. Do I believe they could have stretched this out to 4? The 4th match? Yeah. I kind of wish that Death Triangle did do a sweep of 3 because it's supposed to be a best of 7. It does not mean that the Elite would be dead if they lost another match. They had to win the 4th one because if they didn't, that'd be done. It'd be over. So I kind of wish this match was a 4th match instead of the 3rd one. Now, I'm not going to tell you the match was bad. They did some crazy suicide dives. They also did some jumps off the ring and a few that was off the stage before the match even happened. So they did a good job of making people very hyped for the match and when they went to the match. I'm just saying this. I wish this was a 4th match, not the 3rd. Just me personally. Doesn't mean everyone else is having a problem with it. They're fine with seeing that Death Triangle won 2 and now there's 3. I kind of wish it had been 3 and then they won the 4th one. Yes, it'd be very typical. It would be what you would call, it would be telegraphed, but it'd be fine because it would give a little more suspense. We know they would win, but you can make them act really desperate. I'm just saying. Now let's see here. What is left I want to talk about? Talked about Jade. We talked about Ruby Soho. Before I get to the MJF segment, let's talk about Powerhouse Hobbs. Another vid pack of Powerhouse Hobbs in the book of Hobbs. Is it good? Yeah. I'm just wondering, where would this go? Will he win a title or not? Because Hobbs has been booked consistently pretty good. Let's just hope it will lead to something. Because that's what I'm worried about. They do these bookings, but then it doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't lead to a really meaningful feud, or it doesn't lead to a title possibility. And they need to do that. They need to make it important. Hell, I wouldn't mind Hobbs going up against Daniel Garcia for the Pure Championship. Yes, Hobbs and Garcia are mismatched, but it doesn't matter. We would get something different from Hobbs. At least he would hold a title. Just saying. Whoo! Finally. Here we go. Here we go. The MJF segment with William Regal. Now that Mox was out of the building, we get William Regal coming out. I knew it, and I even said this. He'll probably come out with MJF when he did his talk with Mox last week. And he did. He introduced MJF. MJF comes out, and he makes it very clear that these people in the arena are nothing but garbage. They need to shut their mouths and show respect to him and his associate. And he explained what happened. He made it very clear what happened. He said, I got an email after I got attacked by the firm. And it made it very clear that the firm made me weak. Well, technically, no. I was weak and the firm capitalized on it. So he said, if you really want to show how great you are, you need to do something different. You need more. And I can show it to you. So generally speaking, that's what he said. And then they met one another a couple of times and he said, do you really want to be the best? Don't ever use the diamond ring anymore. Don't use the dynamite diamond ring ever again. Use my brass knucks. And he does lead to that, grabbing the brass ring. Pretty much, the brass. And Regal makes it very clear. When the match happens, you grab the brass knucks and you humiliate a Moxley and you make it clear that this is about you and making Moxley feel degraded. And he got what he wanted. But also, this is where it gets interesting. He makes it clear, you know what? I'm tired of this title. People who held it had some talent, but I don't need this trash. He throws it out of the ring. I kind of wish they had a bucket in the ring. That would have been interesting. That would have been something. He just throws it outside the ring. Yes, it's a cliche to throw a title in the bucket. Look what happened with Rhino. He burned the ECW title because WWE brought it back. I think that was the most fitting thing. For a MJF, he didn't need to burn the title. I just think he could have thrown it in the trash thinking that this belonged to some talented to a certain extent, but not me. Trash, gone. And threw it out of the ring. I kind of wish that. But he now shows a new title. And this new title, it actually looks pretty damn good. The belt is embroidered with AEW, unlike the other one. The plates are smaller. And it looks actually a bit better. It's more gold in it than the other title. I know some people may like the other title better. I actually like this one a bit better. It actually shows a little more aged. Because the original title looks so brand spanking new. But this title, because of how the leather looks, it looks old and worn. It looks like it's an older title. It looks like it's a seasoned title. And that I like that. That gives a little bit of extra. Now, it's where it gets interesting. When this was all said and done, and he's telling anybody that no one's going to get this title, and that the only time I'm going to wrestle when it's important at a pay-per-view. And all the haters who hate me, who can't stand me and think AEW's garbage, guess who's going to be coming to watch me wrestle? Watch me wrestle, and you're going to pay every dime to do it. Even with your little paycheck, you're going to come and you're going to watch me and you're going to boo me, but you're going to pay me. And I'm going to keep he's going to call it the 3Bs. I can't remember what it was. The Triple B. Trying to play a little bit with a Triple H. I can't remember what he called it. But he's calling it the Triple B. And he said, I'm going to keep this thing until the day that it's time to do the bidding war of 2024, which is what we already know he's going to do. Let's put this in perspective. He is going to literally be up for grabs. In 2024, when his contract is up, Tony's going to have to choose to pay him way more than anybody because MJF, he's a businessman. As I've told people, as I said, I told people ad nauseum, when it comes down to it, MJF is a prick. He's a great heel, but he's also a businessman like every wrestler there is. If you actually believe wrestlers are not businessmen and women, you got another thing coming. As much as they love performing and love wrestling and they're marks themselves, they want this. There are some that will do it for free because they love the business. But once they reach a certain size, a certain level of grandeur, they expect this. So don't think MJF is any different than anybody else, because when his contract is near end, you're going to see him being negotiated by the team of Tony Khan. But there's going to be someone that's going to say, hey, I'm willing to pay him a certain amount. Can you contact him for me? And that's someone that knows MJF, that's in WWE or outside it, and is going to get back to MJF. And Maxwell is going to go, damn, they're going to pay me that much money? Tony, babe, this is what we contracted to do? Is this the money you're giving me? And not telling him, of course. No. This ain't nothing. I wasn't even sure I wanted this. You better give me a damn spike more or I'm gone. And if Tony says no, WWE, baby. That's the deal. But let's get back to the real meat of what happened in that segment. As you know, he was holding the title. As you know, he's faced a Steven Regal or William. And he says, there's something I got to say to you. All that time when I spoke to you, and all of you should show him respect. This man is a genius. He's underrated. He's a genius when it comes to wrestling. You have given 30 years of your life. 30 years almost. Actually, it's 37 years. 40 years. He said 40 years, but he's given like 37, 38 years, which is true. Nearly 40 years of his life. And he says, you have given everything to this damn business. You should be respected. You should be praised. And as he's walking behind him, and I really think you deserve something, he takes the brass knucks out, and in the back, not the head to look like, but in the back, William takes a hit, hits the mat, and that was it. Everyone was stunned. Stunned. And he laid there and played his freaking part. He laid there. Now, I know many people say, dude, isn't that dangerous for William Regal? Trust me. If William couldn't take a bump, a hit to the back, they would not do it. Trust me. They will not harm him. Even if he wants to do it, they know his history. If he can handle it, they got to test him to see if he can take a bump, even if it's a light one. They're going to check him first. He will not be allowed to do it unless they know it, because they'd be liable for his ass. Flat out. And you don't want to end up having another Owen Hart incident. Instead of WWE, it would be AEW, and it would be MJF who whacks him behind the head or the back right here. Whacks him there. And he goes down and he dropped dead. They don't want that. Unlike what Owen got caught on that ring rope as he fell 80 feet to his death with the ring rope cutting his stomach. Trust me, he's fine. If he's not fine, then they're in big trouble because they should never did it. But he's fine. But this now makes it clear. The devil strikes the villain. That's the best title for this. Because no one would think he would be that devilish. A real villain is William Regal. That's an old school villain. That's William Regal. That's Steven Regal. He's an old school true villain that will kill you in the ring. That will he will annihilate you outside the ring. I'm thinking about some of the matches I've seen him over the years and how vicious he's been. He's a vicious SOB. He will make you look great before it's over. But he'll also enjoy hurting you because, let's be honest, he's actually a mean bastard. In real life, he could be a mean bastard when he wants to be, and he can be a pussycat when he wants to be. And he took that hit to make MJF look like a devil. And it worked. People are going to go, oh my gosh, the guy's had blood clot in his head. The guy's had fusion in his neck and in his back. He is screwed the hell up. In real life, he has gone through that. But trust me, they wouldn't let him do it unless they were absolutely sure he was going to be safe. So he's fine. But that looked damn good. I'm sure that JD is going to agree with it. I'm sure just Alex is going to agree with it. But trust me, you're going to see that they did it great. Now, how are they going to follow up on that going as winter is coming? Because that's when Ricky Starks is going to have his match. How are they going to use that to make MJF look great? Is he going to continue using brass knucks instead of the Dynamite Diamond Ring, which never looked right? Because you try to hit somebody using a ring here, you got to be careful because you can hurt your own self. So having real brass knucks is going to be a lot more easy on MJF's hand and make it look better than it would be with that diamond ring. He has to go like this, not go like this. But that's just me. And I hope you enjoyed this Dynamite Delight. Please give me a comment below. I'm going to see if I can try and do my NWA review tomorrow. But I don't know. There's some things I got to do tomorrow. So I'm not sure. If I don't get it done, I will try and do it Friday. Sorry, guys. Peace.